Today on People Now, Mark Zuckerberg speaks out following that Facebook data gathering scandal.
Queen Latifah mourning the death of her mother. We're looking back at what Latifah told us about her mom's health battles.
Why did Celine Dion cancel a series of her shows in Vegas? We have details.
Did Kevin Smith really shed weight after his heart attack thanks to the potato diet?
Station 19 is mostly at Station 19, but Station 19 is only 3 blocks down from Greystone Memorial.
Jason George is heating things up, telling us what to expect in his Grey's Anatomy spinoff series, Station 19.
And she had a lot of complications, and so, you know, her case, just like my case, is a great example.
And Padma Lakshmi opens up about her friendship with Lena Dunham and what she wants every woman to know about endometriosis.
It is all today on People Now. Hey, happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to People Now. We've got a great show for you today. In a little bit, we are talking to actor Jason George. He's a star of the new Grey's Anatomy spinoff show, Station 19.
Yeah, so it got us thinking. We all love a good TV revival or spinoff. So we're asking you, what TV show character do you think deserves their own spinoff? Tweet us at People with the hashtag People Now.
Yeah, that's a good one. I can't wait to hear the answers. But first, here's what you need to know and what's trending for today. Watch.
This was a major breach of trust, and I'm really sorry that this happened. You know, we have a basic responsibility to protect people's data, and if we can't do that, then we don't deserve to have the opportunity to serve people.
Mark Zuckerberg made a rare on-camera appearance on Wednesday to apologize for Facebook's recent data breach. The social network's co-founder, chairman, and CEO sat down with CNN amid reports that Facebook misused the information of 50 million users to target election ads to a political research group that worked with the Trump campaign. The father of two expressed his regrets for not taking more action against the research group, Cambridge Analytica, when the breach was first made known to Facebook in 2015. Zuckerberg also promises Facebook is building a tool so you will soon be able to tell if your personal data was compromised in the breach. This is not the first time Facebook has been publicly scrutinized for scandals affecting its users. Most notably, there have been accusations that fake news shared on the platform influenced the 2016 election and that the Russians may have meddled in the midterm elections. Zuckerberg says not only is the Facebook team committed to making sure that doesn't happen again in the future, but he's ready and willing to testify before Congress about any of these events if necessary.
The short answer is I'm happy to if it's the right thing to do. You know, Facebook testifies in Congress regularly on a number of topics, some high profile and some not. And our objective is always to provide Congress with this extremely important job to have the most information that they can. So what we try to do is send the person at Facebook who will have the most knowledge about what Congress is trying to learn. So if that's me, then I am happy to go.
Reports of Facebook's data breach have sparked widespread outrage among Facebook users in the US and around the world, with the hashtag #DeleteFacebook even trending on Twitter. This person tweeting, quote, "For years I've been giving Mark Zuckerberg access to a wealth of data about me in return for the ability to keep 139 people, many of whom I barely recall from high school, updated on my life. In light of recent events, that no longer seems like a good deal for me." Another Twitter user making a pretty good point here. Hashtag #DeleteFacebook may be the most ironic hashtag of all time, using social media to boycott a social media site for doing the things that keep social media sites from going bankrupt. Did the Analytica story really reveal anything we didn't already know about the internet? In fact, it was used in the previous presidential election as well. Twitter user Lauren asking the really tough questions here. Why does Mark Zuckerberg have a Canadian accent? Yeah, we heard his story in the CNN interview too, and we knew that you would be wondering about that, of all things. All right, on to this story, guys. Queen Latifah is mourning the loss of her mom, Rita Owens. In an exclusive statement to People, Latifah revealed her mother passed away Wednesday after struggling with a heart condition for more than a decade. The Girls Trip star, who's been open about her mom's health battle, said she was a, quote, "bright light on this earth," adding, "My mom was gentle but strong, sweet but sassy, worldly but pragmatic, and a woman of great faith and certainly the love of my life. I am heartbroken, but know she is at peace." Late Wednesday night, Latifah shared a photograph of her mother, captioning the post 143, which means I love you. And earlier last year, the actress opened up about her mother's years-long struggle when we sat down with her right here in September. Here's a clip of that.
Honestly, I've just learned how much you can love a person, and just how strong my mother is. I've come to respect her in ways you just can't even imagine. I watched her come through so many things, ups and downs, hospitalizations, you know, really being in in ICU for that matter, you know, going through tough times and watching her come back and bounce back, and still maintain this sense of humor and love and drive and will, you know, and I just love her so much more.
Talking to Queen Latifah, even after the interview that day, you could tell that they had such a special relationship. So sorry for her loss. On to this now. We're learning more today about what ended Donald Trump Jr.'s alleged affair with former Celebrity Apprentice contestant Aubrey O'Day. According to a source who worked with the reality show where the two first connected, the affair came to an abrupt end in 2012 when Trump Jr.'s wife Vanessa discovered, quote, sexy text messages between the pair. The source explains to People that Don Jr. was in the shower and his phone was on the bedside table when those texts came through from O'Day. According to the source, this is how Vanessa found out about the affair, and it ended after that incident. The insider adds, quote, to Don Jr., the affair was very exciting. Aubrey was very, very into Don. He liked her, but she was definitely more keen on him. Last Thursday, Page Six broke the news that Vanessa had filed for divorce from Trump Jr. after more than 12 years of marriage. The couple shares 5 children together. The outlet was also the first to report on Trump Jr.'s alleged fling with O'Day, who rose to fame as a member of the girl group Danity Kane. O'Day's manager told People that she is not commenting at this time, but we can't forget when O'Day wrote in a now deleted tweet on election night in November 2016. She wrote, quote, my story I didn't tell is worth millions now. And guys, you can get more details on this story on people.com. Celine Dion has canceled a series of shows in Las Vegas to undergo a minimally invasive surgical procedure. The 49-year-old singer, who's dealt with health issues in the past, updated fans on her Facebook page on Wednesday night. Now, according to the Post, Celine has been dealing with a condition in her middle ear. It's known as patulous eustachian tube, which causes hearing irregularities and makes it extremely difficult to sing. She's been experiencing this condition for the past 12 to 18 months, but it has been successfully treated with various eardrop medications. The statement continues to say, during the past couple of weeks, these medications have no longer been working to treat the condition, so she will undergo a minimally invasive surgical procedure to correct the problem. Dion expressed her sadness over the news, sharing that her luck hasn't been very good lately and that she's, quote, so sorry for the 3 weeks of shows that were canceled. The singer's performances are scheduled to resume May 22nd. Of course, we wish Celine all the best with that procedure.
Yes, wishing her the best.
All right, good morning to you, Andrea. How you doing?
I'm great.
More for us in Star Trek,
yes,
I believe.
We have some new beginnings in today's Star Trek. All right, guys, it looks like John Stamos is having some fun while waiting for his wife, Caitlin McHugh, to give birth. The Fuller House star shared a hilarious photo on Instagram of himself striking a pose while wearing a fake baby bump and white t-shirt with the words "bun in the oven" written across it. Look at him there. He captioned the pic, "This is the longest 9 months of my life. Can't wait for fatherhood." Very adorable. The actor is expecting his first child with his wife, Caitlin. A source told People that the duo tied the knot on February 3rd in Studio City. Stamos proposed to McHugh at Disneyland in October of 2017. Stamos told People, quote, "The pregnancy happened. Then I said, I better have a ring on her finger because it's the right thing to do. And I wanted to marry her anyway. So I called her parents to ask, and it was like, you better." Well, we can't wait for Uncle Jesse to become a father either. Well, the stars of CBS's hit TV shows The Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon hit the Paley Fest red carpet Wednesday night to talk the future of their shows. But for Big Bang, after 11 seasons and a 12th in the works, is that the end of the road for the beloved Brainiac show? A few of the stars revealed if they can picture a life after Big Bang Theory.
I actually can't, to be honest. I can't really picture it, and I don't think there really will be my life without it. I think it'll always be there. I think it'll always be running. I think we'll always have those fans, and it's always going to be a part of me.
No, not at all. No, and it took I was living in New York when the show came around, and I had a very different and very happy life at the time, but I'm certainly glad it took this turn.
I can't actually. I think that it would be very sad. You know, I grew up on the show. I was a kid out of grad school. So I don't even know how to comprehend that.
All shows except The Simpsons come to an end, right? So at some time we'll wrap it up, and someone will tell us it's time to wrap it up. I don't think it's necessary. It's certainly not my call.
Well, it looks like we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it doesn't end anytime too soon. Of course, we had to ask Big Bang star Kaylee Cuoco about her upcoming wedding to professional equestrian Carl Cook, and if she plans to jump into bride mode after season 11 is done filming. Here's what she said.
I'm very excited to be like a typical bride and start planning all the fun little nuances and things that we're going to do.
All right, really excited for that. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
And stay with us, guys. Padma Lakshmi is opening up about endometriosis and how she helped Lena Dunham during her battle with the disease. Plus, actor Jason George is talking about his new Grey's Anatomy spinoff, Station 19.
All right, but first, it is time for
Oh, Snap!
Supermodel Gisele Bündchen used her Instagram account to make a major announcement. Her new book, Lessons, My Path to a Meaningful Life, will drop on October 2nd this year. Gisele says the book will cover her experiences in her 37 years of life as a model, wife, and mother that, quote, helped me become who I am. Gisele took us down a trip on memory lane with throwback photos of her as a kid with her dad and siblings, and some snaps of her very early on in her extremely successful modeling career. She also shared pictures of her life today as mommy to 8-year-old Benjamin and 5-year-old Vivian, and she showed off her impressive strength, hoisting up quarterback hubby Tom Brady in a yoga pose. Look at that. Looking forward to that book drop, Gisele.
All right, guys, actress Elizabeth Olsen used her Instagram to call out a magazine for a Photoshop fail. Olsen is featured on the cover of Empire as her character Scarlet Witch in anticipation of Marvel's new film Avengers: Infinity War. But unfortunately, Olsen couldn't even recognize herself. Her face was slimmed down and shaded so much she had to ask her fans, quote, does this look like me? Olsen threw some shade on the cover by comparing it to another Marvel Universe shoot she did with Vanity Fair from Shaquille O'Neal, who apparently cannot wait for Infinity War's release, by the way. The actress looks much more like herself in the photo and captioned her repost, dreams do come true, you're a king, Shaq. At least she was happy with, you know, how one of those photos came.
Yeah, and Kevin Smith revealed in his first Hollywood Babble On podcast that he's been on a pretty intense regimen since suffering a near-fatal heart attack last month. Now, he's lost 17 pounds in only 9 days by eating only potatoes. Smith is following illusionist Penn Jillette's diet from the book Presto, How I Made Over 100 Pounds Disappear. Now, though the diet sounds less than magical, Smith says it's, quote, necessary for my health. The director has been ordered by doctors to lose 50 pounds and says that once he loses the weight, he can think about eating other things again. Kevin also memorialized his heart attack by fashioning it into a jersey. The top features an open heart crest to, quote, commemorate his big win against the deadliest of foes.
All right, guys, let's check in on our question of the day. We're asking you, which TV show character do you think deserves their own spin-off show?
Yeah, one Twitter user says Zooey Deschanel's character on The New Girl.
I totally agree.
Yeah, it kind of is already her own spin-off show, though.
Yeah, plus Twitter also heating up, because Shawn Mendes dropped a new single called In My Blood. We have that, and we also have more comments on the social computer. People are sounding off about this. Here we go.
Yeah, so that was his post. Here we go. Shawn Mendes will stop the internet with In My Blood.
Blowing the whole thing
If you guys haven't listened to it, you should.
Jill says, when you're out with your friends and you remember that Shawn Mendes has felt pain. Oh my God.
That little Ariana face.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, it's kind of crazy. So anyway, people are commenting about that. We're going to hear more and more about it. Shawn Mendes.
It's really good. You should definitely listen to it if you haven't heard it.
You know what? I gained more respect for him watching him on The Voice this week. He is so good as like a judge, kind of helping out with a mentoring.
Yeah.
So.
I've been
anyway,
all right, guys, on to this. We all know and love Padma Lakshmi as the host of Top Chef.
She's also an author and an advocate for women's rights. She's especially outspoken about her battle with endometriosis.
Yeah, March is actually Endometriosis Awareness Month, so it's a great time to be talking about this. Now, Padma said endometriosis is a disease that's linked to a woman's period. It occurs when tissue similar to the lining of the uterus travels to regions outside of the uterus where the tissue shouldn't be.
Yeah, which she said can cause a lot of pain and other physical and emotional symptoms. Padma says that around 1 in every 10 women are affected by this, but a lot of them don't even know it.
Yeah, Padma even co-founded the Endometriosis Foundation of America in 2009, and she told us all about her experience with the condition.
Every month, 1 week, I was bedridden. And so I got my period when I was 13. I didn't get diagnosed until I was 36.
Wow.
That's 23 years, 12 months a year, 12 weeks from, that I was missing at, volleyball practice, the school dance, my midterm exams, helping my mother cook the family meal. All of these things that, is part and parcel of being a normal teenage kid.
What's something a woman should look for?
If you have heavy bleeding where you have to change your sanitary napkins or tampons more than 1 an hour, if you're leaking through, if you have such bad cramps that over-the-counter medication is not taking care of it, if your bra size goes up a cup just during that time. I mean, I had headaches, I had numbness in one leg, I had lower back pain, I had all kinds of digestive problems. And a lot of times they just tell you you have to just grin and bear it, that this is our lot in life. because we're girls and we can have babies, and pain is your body's way of telling you something is wrong. And it's a very isolating disease. Nobody wants to talk about, their period. And it's not my nature to go on TV and talk about my vagina all the time either. But it was for such a good cause, and I saw how better my life was after I had surgery, after I got the proper treatment. I mean, it was like day and night, and I thought, oh, this is what normal people feel like.
Right.
You listen to your body. And if you're down for more than 2 days, if you cannot go about your business, to work, to the gym, to be with your family, to cook, to see your friends, you should seek professional help. And don't just go to a gynecologist. Look up a specialist, somebody who specializes in PCOS, fibroids, and endometriosis, because these are all ailments that have to do with the female reproductive system.
She's very passionate about bringing awareness to that. And you remember when Lena Dunham made headlines in February after revealing that Lena, underwent a total hysterectomy to end her endometriosis pain. Do you remember that?
Lena and Padma are actually friends, with Padma even leading Lena to the doctor that would perform her major surgery.
Yep, Padma's fellow co-founder of the Endometriosis Foundation of America, Dr. Tamer II, was the surgeon that Lena ended up choosing.
Yeah, Padma also opened up about her friendship with Lena and how she helped her friend get through such a tough experience.
I knew about it a lot before that article came out. I was on the phone with her, when it happened. I recommended the doctor that she, did that with. So I was somewhat involved in her care, not in her care, but somewhat part of the process from the beginning, because I felt that Lena wasn't getting the care that she really should have. When I heard her talking about some of the doctors that she was seeing, before she got to my co-founder. And so I, just in listening to her, it's a very personal thing. You don't want to push your advice on someone, but I kept saying, I wonder if she should have a second opinion. I know you love your doctor and, they sound great, but just for comparison. And she went through a lot of trouble before she got to that point. And she would tell you this herself, like, it was such an odyssey, and it just, everything happened that could have happened. And she had a lot of complications. And so, her case, just like my case, is a great example. Lena and I both have access to really good medical care. And for many, many millions of Americans, especially American women, that care is not available to them. And we're cutting funding to free care, like Planned Parenthood and other types of insurance. And we need that as women.
The uniform is it's like big kid toys, right? And so what's dope, the helmet itself just weighs 2 pounds. So imagine a hat that's like heavier than your
really
so
heavy.
Literally it's like about 70 pounds of gear when you get it all on. The boots, these moon boots, so it takes a second to get used to. All of us basically change entirely everything we're wearing underneath. We change at lunch.
Okay.
And then it's still drenched by the end of the day. So it's an insane amount of it. It's really, it's probably the most physically strenuous thing I've ever done. To be acting and doing all this emotional stuff, and then you gotta like swing an axe or run up and down a ladder like a bunch of times. And so, yeah, we hydrate regularly. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, it is getting hot in here. Jason George, aka Dr. Ben Warren, is swapping out his Grey's Anatomy scrubs for a Station 19 fire uniform. Boy, we cannot wait for all the TGIT drama to come. The actor opened up about whether or not we'll see Ben roaming around the Seattle Grace halls now that he's officially down the street. Turns out, we just might.
Station 19 is mostly at Station 19, but Station 19 is only 3 blocks down from Greystone Memorial. So, and once we pull somebody out of a fire, pull them out of a car crash, we got to take them someplace. So on any given episode of Station 19, we might end up at Greystone and your favorite doctors might show up a little bit.
Ooh,
and
that's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun because it's like, that was one of the things, that was one of the perks for me was when Shonda gave me the call and said, do you want to do this thing? It wasn't an either or, it was a yes and.
Ben is a rookie at the firehouse. We've all been there, a rookie at something.
Yeah.
When's the moment that you felt like you really were a rookie?
There are shows that you, as an actor, you look at and you go, oh, I got to do that show someday. I want to do that show. Grey's was one of those shows for me. My wife had showed it to me and I fell in love with the show and had been watching it before I was ever on it. And so then when they called and said, hey, come do the show, I showed up and I'd been doing the acting gig for a minute.
Yeah.
I hadn't been nervous for a while. I was the most nervous I'd been in years. And suddenly I was like, don't screw this up. You hang out here for a second, don't mess it up. And, and that was, fortunately, that was like, 7, 8 years ago, so been hanging out for a minute. But that was the last time I felt like you might not know what the hell you're doing right now.
I can't wait for that show, and he's like such a cool dude.
Oh,
right?
he's really, really cool. And I like when he was talking about, they learned all the things that you do as a firefighter, and then they would be sweating the entire time, just like dripping sweat. I just thought it was really interesting. To then be acting on top of that.
Yeah, no, it was
really
like
impressive.
physically strenuous, and then having to like be in character and perform in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's check in on our question of the day one more time. We want to know which TV character you think deserves their own spinoff since he's getting his.
Yeah, so Lauren says, I want a Nashville spinoff with Lennon and Maisie Stella. Oh yeah, not ready for that show to be over, and they're so talented. We've had them in on our show before, and they're so talented.
It's got to be happening somewhere, right? Someone's got to be talking about that.
Yeah.
Alexandra says, I'd love to see a spinoff with Hilary Duff's character from Younger. She's super cool, and who wouldn't want to watch Hilary Duff? Who do you think?
I think, well, I feel like this has been talked about, but Shannon Purser, Barb from Stranger Things.
Okay.
Has that...
I know, I can see that. It makes a lot of sense. Guys, we're going to be asking a new question of the day tomorrow on People Now. Come back at 8:30. And coming up tomorrow, Harry Connick Jr. opening up about his wife's cancer battle and the campaign that he's joined to raise awareness for that. Plus, Jason Biggs and Jenny Mullen are spilling all the tea on their biggest parenting fails. Hey, stars, listen, everybody, they are just like us.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss that.
Thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from 911 star Peter Krause. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Peter Krause, and this is One Last Thing. The last time I cooked a meal was a few nights ago with my son. We grilled some steaks, had some macaroni and cheese, some beans, and a salad. The last show I binge watched, Vice Principals.
Whatever, Gamby. First thing I'm gonna do when I become principal is fire you.
I thought that Danny McBride and Walter Goggins did a fantastic job. Last guys' night out. Oh, Oliver Stark, Kenny Choi and I were stuck in San Pedro, California. We went out to an Italian restaurant and then shot some pool.